the top secret effort by the United States to develop an atomic bomb during World War II. Some of the finest and most original scientists of the first half of the 20th century participated in the project, including Niels Bohr, Richard Feynman, Enrico Fermi, Leo Szilard, and Ernest Lawrence. Albert Einstein, who did not work directly on the project, was instrumental in setting it in motion. In a famous letter in 1939 to President Franklin D. Roosevelt, Einstein warned the president of the alarming possibility of Nazi Germany building a nuclear weapon. Despite this warning, however, the United States was initially slow to commit itself to producing a nuclear bomb. It was only after the U.S. entered the war in December of 1941, following the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, that the country fully threw itself into the endeavor of building the world's first atom bomb. Aided by the United Kingdom, Canada, and by scientists fleeing fascist Europe, the Manhattan Project grew to become a massive effort involving well over 100,000 people. Work on the project was carried out in a number of different universities and laboratories around the United States, including the University of Chicago's Metallurgical Laboratory, where Italian physicist Enrico Fermi supervised the world's first self-sustaining nuclear chain reaction on December 2, 1942. Another center of activity was Ernest Lawrence's Radiation Laboratory in Berkeley, California, where fissionable uranium-235 was produced and samples of a new element, plutonium, were made that also proved to be fissionable. The most famous laboratory of the Manhattan Project, however, was the Los Alamos Laboratory, located on a plateau northwest of Santa Fe, New Mexico. Led by the charismatic theoretical physicist Robert Oppenheimer, the Los Alamos Laboratory was where the most important steps were taken to produce the atom bomb. Trinity, the first nuclear test in history, took place on July 16, 1945 in a stretch of desert in New Mexico known as Jornada del Muerto. The bomb was nearly 2,000 times more powerful than the most powerful conventional bomb used so far in the war. Less than a month after the test, on August 6, 1945, a uranium bomb named Little Boy was dropped on Hiroshima, Japan, with devastating results. 3 days later, a plutonium bomb, Fat Man, was dropped on the Japanese city of Nagasaki. On August 15th, Japan surrendered, thereby ending World War II. The success of the Manhattan Project opened up a terrifying new panorama. Civilian victims from the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki numbered more than 250,000 people. In 1949, the Soviet Union tested its first atomic bomb, leading to the nuclear arms race in the Cold War. Albert Einstein later expressed regret about having urged development.
On August 6, 1945, two American Super Fortress bombers arrived over the Japanese city of Hiroshima on the world's most devastating military mission. The Enola Gay, with Colonel Paul Tibbets at the controls, was about to drop the first atomic bomb, a weapon conceived by a group of international scientists based at Los Alamos in the United States. So far, no one knew exactly what effect the bomb would have, either on the unsuspecting inhabitants below or on the crew of the plane itself. They were soon to find out.
As soon as the bomb went off, the whole inside of the airplane just lit up as if someone had set off a flashbulb. And then we had to wait, and this was our big worry, is what would the blast do when the blast got to the airplane? And finally the blast did arrive. It was like being in an ash can and getting someone kicking. And then we crowded to the window and saw just the whole city completely covered in smoke with this very tall mushroom cloud rising from it.
President Truman had already threatened the Japanese with a rain of ruin from the air, the like of which has never been seen on this earth. When the truth was revealed, his words seemed an understatement. Buildings vaporized, so did the clothes on people's backs. Was it a bomb that should never have been dropped? Some people thought so. Others argued that it shortened the war and kept the subsequent peace. One thing was not in doubt. Hiroshima taught mankind the awful truth about nuclear weapons and just what horror they could bestow.